Welcome back, everybody. Today's tutorial, we are going to be doing a face tracking tutorial collage like this. So let's go ahead and get started. So to get started with the face tracking collage, I filmed myself making this intro, and it's not the very best lighting. It's not the very best quality, but we are going to be using these takes to create this collage. So first thing I want to do is I want to duplicate this layer. I'm going to go to my effects panel, and I am going to search for posterized time. That's what we're looking for. So let's go ahead and throw that on there. Let's go down to 8 frames a second. Okay, let's select the layer on top now. Let's make that visible. Hit T for transparency, and we're gonna make this at 50% transparent. So we are also gonna be adding the posterized time to that one. And then we're gonna bump this one down to 8 frames a second. So basically this posterized time is gonna take it and turn it into a, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a claymation kind of effect. Copy that posterized time, and then we're gonna paste it on this last frame here. All right, so now that we have those three, I'm gonna duplicate this effects layer, because now I wanna take this layer and this layer, I wanna pre-compose those, and I'm just gonna tell them take one. And then I'm gonna move all the attributes and adjust the composition duration to the time span of the selected layers. Okay, select that layer, and this is just a color adjustment layer. So we're gonna pair that up and call this take 2. And then we're gonna do the same thing with the last one, grab that color adjustment layer, pre-compose, and call take 3. Now what we wanna do is we wanna go ahead and cut these out. So I'm gonna draw a quick and dirty mask. Hit M for mask. I'm gonna hit activate the keyframe there, and I'm just gonna go back to the beginning. Push that over to the beginning. We want this to be rough and dirty, so don't judge me. Double click to select all the vertices and then put those where you want them. All right, let's bump this take 2 up to the top, and we are gonna go through the same process here. And then this one, if we go to T, we can see that we're gonna try to line up our eyes here. Okay, now that we have all 3 layers separated, all 3 layers masked out, let's go ahead and try to match up some of the animations. So let's do some of the motion. So let's hit T for transparency. Let's take these down to 50% just so we can see what's going on underneath it. And then hit P for position. And this is where we want to align. Let's just try aligning our eyes and see what happens here. So let's go eyes. Hit S for scale. Let's bump this up to 115 though, just to make sure we have enough room that we're all gonna fit in there. So hit P for position again. They're pretty much in sync. I'm just gonna move these a little bit. And you can see I'm being kind of rough and dirty with these. And it'll make a lot more sense when we get to the final thing here. Okay, and then the last set here, we're gonna hide that middle layer, and then we're gonna do the same thing here with position. So hit P for position. Let's go back to the first frame, activate our keyframes, and then let's set that about there. Let's go to scale and do 120. I think that's what we did for the last one. Let's just double check. Oh, it's 115. Okay, so go back, hit P for position. And then again, let's just line up our eyes. Some of these faces. Oh boy. Yeah. So you can see I'm being kind of quick and dirty about this, but that is going to help with the overall look. At least I hope so. We will find out here shortly. So now that we have all three of those, let's activate them all. And then I'm going to go into T for transparency. All right, let's go ahead and add a new solid here. Let's just make this white. Let's make this the same white as this. Let's go ahead and create a new layer. All right, so let's go ahead and add some fractal noise. Under fractal noise, I make this max. I went to block. Under contrast, I took that all the way down. Let's go about 200. Under brightness, let's go -100. Let's go soft clamp. And then the scaling, I just turned that all the way up to 200. And the evolution, I'm gonna hit Option and click on that stopwatch. And I'm just gonna say time times, let's try 800 because I think I want this to go a little faster. All right, let's go ahead and try that fractal now. So under pre-comp, let's change the matte over to fractal. And then we are going to do the same thing to this one. I'm going to add some levels to this. And I'm just going to crank the black and the white, just so there's a little bit more contrast. Okay, I'm liking that. That looks kind of cool. Duplicate that. And then under the settings here, we just want to change the evolution to times, let's go 1200. Let's change that expression to time times 1200. And that'll give us a little bit very different speed on the fractal. So now under take 2, we're going to change that over to fractal 2. Okay, that's interesting. I can dig it. Copy and paste this take 3. I'm going to bump this all the way up to the top just so I can see what I'm doing here. And I'm going to draw a mask around my mouth. And then I'm going to hit S for scale, and I'm going to bump this up to 150. I'm going to hit M for mask, and I am going to do... So the only thing you see is going to be my mouth. Let's maybe make that a little smaller here. Oh boy. Okay, so I just gave myself some pretty big cheeks there, but that's okay. Let's hit P for position. Let's make this a 3D element here. Hit P for position one more time. Now that we have that done, let's go ahead and modify the scale of this a little bit. Yeah, before we do that, I want to get the eyes locked in. So let me go ahead and copy and paste this take 1 layer. Gonna hit M for mask. Under the mask, we just want to get rid of all of that mask. In fact, we want to get rid of that mask. Under mask, the rectangle tool, and we are going to find the eye. And I'm just going to solo this just so we can see what's going on here. And then under the fractal, I'm going to take that fractal matte off. I'm going to activate the mask path. I'm going to double click on my mask, and then I'm going to move that over here. And then we are just going to follow this along. And just every few frames, we just want to recenter that. And usually what I do, if I have a complicated track like this, I usually just split the keyframes, find my middle ground, and that usually takes care of most of it. So like, for example, here to here, I'm just going to do the N keyframe, which will be right here. And then I'm going to split the difference, double click, put it here, split the difference, double click, put it here, and you can kind of see that I'm just splitting the difference every time. Because of the nature of this animation, it's very chaotic and just kind of glitchy to begin with, and so we want to keep that effect throughout. We don't have to be so precise with this. Command D to duplicate, hit M to bring up your mask keyframes. I'm just going to go to one of the keyframes and then select the rest of the keyframes here. And I'm going to move this over to here. And hopefully what this does, I'm just hitting my arrow keys on my keyboard. Hopefully what that does is that it resets. Nope, it doesn't. So we are just going to have to reset every single one of these. Okay, that's okay. Because this will give us a chance to reframe this. Okay, now that we've animated that mask, let's go ahead and unsolo that. This is starting to get a little messy, so I'm gonna rename this mouth. This is gonna be right eye, left eye. And this is gonna be right eye. P for position, and I'm gonna push these out. Let's go negative 1250. All right, now I'm gonna go to right eye, position, and then negative 650. This is the right eye, so negative 650. And then I'm gonna select all the keyframes for the left eye, and I am gonna do negative 1250. That looks great. So let's go back to this last keyframe, and we are just gonna put these a little bit more where they should be. Something like that, and then select this one and something like this. Okay, these eyes jump way up here, so I'm just gonna put them back where they kind of should be. Press S for scale, and we are gonna set scale for 115, 115, and 115. There in the middle, I'm gonna go off a few frames, and then I'm gonna do 135, and I'm gonna do 85, and then I'm gonna go 115. So now we get this kind of effect. That takes a little bit too long to develop, so I'm gonna select all of them, hold down Option, and I'm gonna click and drag that last one. This is gonna compress my animation, so it's gonna make it faster. And then I'm gonna copy those keyframes, and then I'm just gonna randomly put them in here, just a couple more times, just so there's a little bit of glitchiness. And then I'm gonna select the one underneath, and I'm gonna do the same thing, press S for scale. I'm gonna set a scale there. I'm actually gonna go wider this time. Again, I'm gonna select all those keyframes, copy those, and then just randomly paste them in here. I'm gonna select all those keyframes, go to my last one, and I'm just gonna compress those just so that happens a little bit faster. One last thing I wanna do is in my effects, I wanna search for the bulge effect. Let's go ahead and set a keyframe. We'll go forward a few frames, set 0.5, 0.7, and then go back to a 0. And then we'll just copy those keyframes, paste a few here and there, insert one last keyframe or one last layer here, and then go to our effects panel, and we are gonna search for the gradient ramp. Let's go ahead and select the gradient ramp. Let's bring that in here. Let's change this over to a radial ramp. I think that looks pretty good. It's weird, it's twisted, it's collagey. It's definitely, I don't know if we did as much face tracking as I thought we were gonna do, but oh, one last thing. Let's go over to layer, new camera, and we are gonna animate a camera here. And this is only a 10 second, 12 second, this is about a 10-second clip here. So I'm gonna toggle down my camera controls. I'm gonna set a keyframe for the point of interest and the position. What is going on there? Oh, I know what it is. It's my eye. Okay, that eye is way too far out. So let's select all of these keyframes, and then let's go negative 800. That looks a little better. I think these movements, we want to make them kind of snappy and quick. And all I'm doing is pressing C to toggle through the camera controls. And then we're just resetting. I definitely don't want to see my teeth here. So let's zoom this back out a little bit. Let's copy this, hit K to take us to those keyframes. Since we copied those, we're just gonna paste them into place now. We're gonna select everything, hit F9 for easy ease, and that's it. And there you go, you guys. You can see with a little bit of work and a little bit of ingenuity and creativity, we can come up with this really cool, whacked out kind of effect. One word of advice is if you don't like the way you look on camera, do not use yourself, because you're going to be staring at yourself for a while. But if you do like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button, and please subscribe to the channel. We'll be back every week with a new tutorial. And as always, I'm Julio, your motion sidekick, here to help you out on your motion side quest. And until next time, love you guys. Peace out.